Are we live? Are we on? Sakkie, what's up, brother?
I'm good at yourself, Coach Ed.
I'm alive and scoping, my good man. Alive and scoping.
Laka, brother.
Listen, dude, welcome to the show. Thanks for agreeing to come in. People are super excited to get to know you a little bit better. Everyone's been talking about how they love your guided runs. They love you as a person. So this is a good chance to sort of get your face out there and let everybody else who has not heard of you yet get to know you.
Yay! Super excited. But let's tell people the truth. You threatened me to come on here. I didn't come here voluntarily.
It was I wouldn't, threatened is such a harsh word, more like bribed, convinced. Otherwise, brother, how's things going?
Man, all's well on my end. Can't complain. Taking it day by day, nice and easy.
How's the running going? You are still running, right?
I am still running, yes, every day. Okay, not every day. I do have rest days, but I am still running, enjoying it. Some days are easier, some days are tougher. It's not always the same.
Listen, like as a non-runner, I have to say, like I admire someone like you who has always has the motivation to run. Like how do you do it?
Hey, listen, the motivation is not always there. That's one thing that I need to put out there. The motivation is not always there. It's not like every morning I wake up and I'm like, ooh, easy, go for a run. No, some days I actually drag myself out of bed. Like I just motivate myself in terms of if I have a scheduled plan. For me, I find that works out much better. If I see it that tomorrow this is what I need to be doing, I actually drag myself out of bed and get it done. So yeah, you do have those days, where you're like, kind of tough, but hey, it has to be done.
Yeah, no, I get you. I know with myself also, with my kind of training and stuff, it's when I put it down on paper and be like, this is the plan for the week, it's almost like I don't care about my feelings. There's a plan, follow the plan, whether I'm in the mood or not, It's a similar thing with you.
Exactly.
Awesome, man. Listen, before we get any further, I just want to give a little bit of time for everyone to tune in, and people are coming in droves. So I just want to say hi, Beverly. Hi, Kirsty Wells. How are you guys doing? Pat Governor is in the house. What a legend of a human being she is. Karen Schatz. I'm going to butcher people's surnames today. Like, I am terrible with reading people's names.
Oh, God.
Aiden Smith's here. Odette Collins from the UK is plugged in. Tell me, do you get nervous when you know a whole bunch of people are watching?
Yes, I do. I'm going to reveal a secret because it is getting to know me, by the way. Coach Edgar knows this about me. This is something that he might know. I don't know if you remember. I get really sweaty palms, like it's a towel of mine. Yeah. My mom, my dad, they've always known, like if there's something I'm hiding, just hold his hand. Do you have something to tell me? And then they'll know. If my palms get sweaty, then yeah, I am nervous or something like that. So yeah, I do get that way.
That is such a funny tell.
It is so odd.
But listen, that's a good segue. That's a good segue. I've always wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Why did your parents give you the name Sakkie?
There we go. The most wanted question. Like everybody asks me this. Listen, I literally asked about this myself because first things first, when people hear the name, they expect this big Afrikaans oak. I need people to know that I'm not that type of Sakkie. But yeah, my grandma actually gave me the name. She is sort of Afrikaans, not sort of, she's Afrikaans. She gave me that name, and yeah, I've been stuck with it forever. She never gave me a reason as to why I'm Sakkie, but she gave me the name.
So wait, you have to go back even further now. Your grandma is Afrikaans? Explain that to me.
Okay, so my grandmother's Afrikaans. I don't know how to explain it, Edgar. She's colored on my father's side, and then my mother, Xhosa. So like all of that came down to get me, Sakkie.
Got you. I did not know that about you. That's brilliant. Okay. And I can imagine you've probably gotten a lot of flack about your name
Oh
over the
my
years.
goodness. If I could tell you the nicknames right now, like I got over it as I got older, like in high school.
Actually,
So I'll give you a list.
Go for it.
I'll give you a list. Okay, Papsak. Very nice one. Little Bag, direct translation of my name. So those are like some, and the Sakkie. Oh my goodness, that song. I hate it when people sing it. If anybody out there is thinking about singing it, please don't.
That's a good one. That is a good one. Yes, people can be mean.
Oh, dude, like I embraced it.
No, that's awesome, dude. So tell me. I'll also want to ask you, like, you recently got engaged. Tell us about the lovely lady in your life.
Yes, I recently got engaged. I was so super excited about that. So I got engaged to my varsity sweetheart. Met her in varsity first year. So we've known each other for 11 years now, actually. So it was quite an experience and a journey to be on with her. I was quite nervous. I remember telling you guys when we were in Cape together that, hey, listen, this is what I've been planning. Never knew how I'm going to surprise her because firstly, she loves surprises. Secondly, I can never surprise her. So it was a bit of a tough one for me, but I somewhat got it right. And yeah, man, we're newly engaged, enjoying the journey. So I couldn't be any more excited, eh?
That's freaking awesome, dude. I'm so happy for you. You're probably a very lucky person because she sounds like she's amazing. But I think she's also really lucky to have you too because you're a freaking legend, dude.
Oh, thank you, Edgar, because she's actually watching this. She never admits it that I'm actually special. I'm joking. If you're watching, she'll kill me. But yeah, man, I am very lucky and I'm grateful.
No, that's awesome, dude. You also telling me you have a son. Tell me about the little guy. Oh, he's not so little.
The son story. So my son is not actually my son. He's my nephew. So that's one thing. Like, I've lived with him for a very long time. Like, when his parents moved from Johannesburg, he stayed behind with me. So I unofficially became a dad. So that's how I am a father to almost teenager now. Yeah.
Now, how's that going? Because the thought of me becoming a surrogate dad to a teenager is like my palms are starting to sweat.
So this is how it's going. Listen, it is crazy. It's insane. He was easier when he was younger, but now that he's getting to that stage, it's impossible. I keep asking people, how do you do it? Because I just feel like killing my nephew or sending him back to his parents. But it's so good, man. Like, honestly, I was grateful that he actually chose to stay with me because it's a decision he made. When the parents moved, he was like, I'd actually love to stay with my uncle. So, yeah, I appreciate that.
And how do you balance being you're acting as the role of a dad. How do you balance that with work, with fitness, with the healthy eating? Like, what are some tips you found out through experience?
For me personally, Edgar, schedule is everything. Like, honestly, I don't think I would be able to do it without a schedule. I schedule everything out. There is a day, however, I need to admit this, that I fetched my nephew late from school. He actually wanted to kill me. So that was one thing. I dropped the ball on that day. I wasn't on top of things. My schedule was all over the place and I forgot the kid. I'm sorry. I am a bad person. I know. No need to tell me. But yeah, the best thing I can say is honestly planning everything out, I found that when I do plan things out, I get to them and nothing slips through the cracks.
That's actually a good way. That's actually a good way to go about doing things. Like, it's being proactive rather than being reactive. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, awesome, dude. Okay, so last week I posted a post with your lovely face on it and awesome people to ask some questions. I've curated a bunch of the better ones. So here we go. Nancy Chose would like to know, is there a correct way to breathe when running? And what should she do with her arms when she's running? Because she tends to feel a little tense.
Okay, so that's quite a good question. In terms of the breathing, the best advice that I would give somebody is find what works for you. I normally say breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. And I usually use a count. When you're starting off, I'd say count it out in your head. 2 breaths in, 1 breath out. 2 counts in, 1 count out. Anything like that you find would be most comfortable for you, because that's how it is. What works for me in terms of running and my breathing is not necessarily going to work for the next person. So it's all about finding that sweet spot for yourself. And then when it comes to the arms, very important. When you're running, relaxation is everything. You need to be completely relaxed. The more you tense up, the more difficult you're going to make things for yourself. So your arms next to the body, try not to clench your fists or anything like that. Try to be nice and relaxed, 90-degree angle with your arms, and then just swinging them across, next to the body and not across, because most people tend to do that. That turns your hips as well, and it takes you out of alignment as well. So you want them right next to the body in that motion.
Okay, that's actually a really good tip. I will use it the next time I'm not running.
I need to get you on the road, not walking, running.
Listen, this body's built to walk, I stay in my lane, I do my walks, do my guided. There's a reason why I do the guided walks and you do the guided runs. Everybody in your lane. That's actually a really good segue into if you're not really a runner and you want to get into it. As Marie Lebrant Baez, I apologize for butchering your surname there. She wants to know, if you're not really a runner, can you build up towards doing a 21K?
The simple, short answer is yes. Listen, everybody's built for this. It obviously is going to take a bit of time. You don't want to overload yourself in terms of your mileage and stuff like that when you're starting off. It might take you some time to build up to actually doing the 21, but definitely you can start from being a novice to running your 21. I've done it with a lot of athletes before. There are people currently on the program who are looking to get to a 21 or looking to run a comfortable 10. It doesn't matter who you are. If you really want to do it with the right guidance, you can actually get there.
Tell us a little bit more about the running program and how that works.
So currently with the running program, we have 2 programs that we have on there, the 10K and the 21K. So if you're a person that's looking to get into your running journey, this is the perfect thing for you, because what happens is we actually guide you in terms of how much you should be running, the exercises that you need to be doing that complement your running as well. So it's a great way for you to start and get yourself to that, whether you're chasing time or you just want to run the distance comfortably. Whatever your goals are, we're there to help you achieve those goals. So yeah, I'd say it's a great start for you if you're looking to get into your running.
So, on all seriousness, because I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy. So, would you be able to turn me into a runner? And how long would that take?
Okay, so you saying you're a big boy. First thing that I always say with people, if you have more than 5 kgs to lose, the running program is not necessarily for weight loss. It's to get you into your running and into your running journey. So if you want to lose weight first, I'd first advise you to start off with the home program or gym program, get to where you need to in terms of your weight. Then once you're comfortable there, you've built up the strength as well, transition then into the running program. As to how long it would take, it all depends on your ability. I wouldn't overload you starting off if it's too much. Some people, advance quicker than others. So it's a guided program, we use your ability and then take you on the program, on the journey to get you to where you need to be. So time frame, there's no time frame, Edgar. It would depend on how hard you're working.
Well, listen, I'm a huge fan of pacing myself. So I'd be like, listen, I'm cool to take a couple months, slow and steady normally wins my races. So I'd be really cool to take it slow.
Yeah, normally I advise, when you go on the running program, do it for 3 months, minimum. That's what I'd advise you to do it for. Because it's meant to be helping you build good habits, learn what you need to in terms of your running, and get you to a good space where you can actually achieve the goals that you're looking for. So it's not something that you can actually say, hey, I'm going to run a 10K in 3 days. You need the time, you need to take the time to get you to where you need to.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about your Jeff journey. What's your team name called?
Oh, I'm part of a new team with the amazing coach Lee. Are you saying my personal team, as in my clients, or my mini team in jail?
Let's go with your clients first, and then we'll expand.
Awesome. My team is called the Mighty Spartans. They all here, supporting. We are the Spartans, an amazing group of individuals.
The reason why I'm asking is because I'm seeing a lot of mention of Spartans in the groups here. I'm like, Spartans? Who are the Spartans?
Real warriors.
A lot of your clients are watching right now.
Yes. Each and every one of them, real warriors, that's the name, It's all about fighting for what we want.
So on that note, I want to read a couple of the questions popping through here. And guys, if you have any questions, pop them in the comments because we're going through them now. Nikki Vinstra, I'm butchering surnames like crazy today. She wants to know, where do you find the running programs that you've been talking about just now?
So the running program is available just like it's a one-on-one journey as well. So you go onto our webpage, that's where you're going to find the program. You need to be going with your coach who's going to be helping you throughout the journey.
Awesome. Nikki, I hope that answers your question adequately.
Or you can DM me or any other coach.
Yeah, we have a variety of coaches to pick from. So whatever your goals, guys, we can help you with those. D. Volkvane, I'm so bad at this. Who made me host? Who made me host? She's asking, she said she always feels one leg is moving slightly faster than the other, and she can't quite get her rhythm in running right. So what's your advice?
So it's all about the stride, it would be working on how you use your stride length and everything like that. I'm not quite sure what she means by, like she feels like one is slower. I would actually need to get more into that question and ask her exactly what is happening in terms of her running. But it would all be about working on your running form. That's what would help when it comes to that.
Okay. Nancy Farmer, that's a nice easy one. And Gerald Folkshank, so bad at this, both want to know, what is the running goal that you're most proud of? What's your biggest achievement?
When it comes to running, so tough to choose one. Let me think. I think if I were to choose just one, actually transitioning from being a track runner to a road runner. Like in all aspects, just coming from a 10K, starting off with a 10K, moving on to a 21, and then eventually doing my ultras. So that for me was quite big because it wasn't an easy transition because I started off as a sprinter and then moved on into road running.
Now, because I know the backstory here, there was a question related to that, which segues really nicely.
Okay.
Susan Van Sale Becker wants to know, have you ever sustained a running injury? And how did you overcome that? And how do we avoid future ones?
Brilliant. Okay, so I have had an injury. So I've told you about the story. We've had a chat about it at some time. So basically how I got injured, I was a 400-meter hurdler. I basically hit the hurdle, my last hurdle actually, in the race, hit the last hurdle, twisted my kneecap, and yeah, that was my injury when it comes to running. It actually took me a long time to recover. One thing that I can say for anybody who's had an injury, very important, sticking to what you are given in terms of your recovery, the physio, the bio, whoever you're going to, it's very important to stick to that. Because I was very young at the time. I didn't listen much when it comes to that. So it actually did cost me a bit. I sat out on the sidelines for longer than I should have. That's the first thing. Secondly, I didn't realize how much of an impact it had on me mentally. That's another thing. So mentally, I wasn't able to get back into my running for a while because I actually didn't realize that this actually affected me. So that's one thing that I'd advise people to think about. How is this affecting you mentally as well? So very important. That was my type of injury. So if you're having any other type of injury, take it slow, do what you need to. Don't push yourself too hard in the beginning. If you are told, no running or anything like that, listen to what needs to be done so that you can recover quicker and get back into what you need to be doing.
That's actually such really good advice. It reminds me, like, there's a quote, who the original source of which I can't really remember now, so I'm coining it as my own. And the quote was like, you need to learn to listen to your body whispering before it needs to shout at you. So if you're injured and your body's like, listen, this is not on, take a step back, give the body what it needs, let it recover. When it's ready and willing, it will let you know.
Exactly.
So,
and there are so many other things you can be doing in the meantime, you know, like sticking to your nutrition and all those other things. You can just focus on that if you're injured.
There's always other ways to get towards your goal. Like the injury slows you down, but it doesn't stop you. You can always keep going forward in other ways. So Noelle, Short Cider Sky, I'm pretty sure I got that one right. She says she wants to know what the internal Jeff team you were talking about earlier is all about.
Oh, we just have little teams amongst ourselves, you know, just to keep each other motivated. So yeah, those are the internal teams I'm talking about. We work in our little groups. I'm in a group that just has a feud with Edgar's group, so I don't understand how we're working together right now, you know. Just joking, but yeah, we just have little teams like every other company, you know.
It keeps things interesting. It also, because Jeff has grown so big so quickly, it just helps with the whole flow of information to make sure everyone's plugged in. And ideas like this one, Coach's Corner, happens in those little groups when we get talking and start getting creative with each other. So it's actually pretty cool.
It's the best.
Now, our very own Coach Adrian left a comment here saying it's the American accents with the South African names. No bueno. I think he's talking about you. I think he's talking about you. Like, what's up with the accent? Like, okay, first of all, like, let's skip my accent thing because I've explained that to death. What's up with yours?
I never realized that I have an accent. Like, I don't want to lie. That is one thing that I don't know that I have one. So if Coach Adrian's saying there is one, maybe just like you, I'm impressionable. I don't know.
I've always said I wish I had a good excuse for why I sound like this, but it's like
I genuinely don't as well.
Like born in Eastern Cape, raised in Eastern Cape, schooled in Eastern Cape. My family's like my dad's Ugandan, my mom is Xhosa, but like my whole family here is South African. So I'm like, I don't know where I picked this up from.
That's my defense as well from now on. I don't know. What Coach Edgar said, that's what I'm going with.
Dude, like literally I have pigeons brawling right in front of my camera outside.
Focus, Coach Edgar, focus.
It's distracting. Okay, I cannot read this name to save my life. Miney? Oh. It's M-Y-N-I-E. Miney?
Okay. I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to put myself in that position.
She's asking, she gets confused when we talk about 60%, 90% capacity, when talking about running and walking. What does that actually mean?
Okay, so basically with the guided runs, when I talk about your 50% effort level, 60, 70, 80, whatever it might be, I'm referring to your effort level. Like usually you hear me on the guided runs, I'll tell you when I say 50% of your maximum effort, that's conversational pace. So it should be easy, you know, you don't feel like you're working too hard. When you move on then to your 60%, you're pushing just a little bit harder. It's still not a hard run, but it's just quicker than the conversational pace. Once we get to 70%, 70 to 80, that's where you start feeling like you're pushing now. You should feel like, you know, you're having to breathe harder and stuff like that. You're working just a little bit more. And then, 80 to 90, 100, those are your sprinting paces in terms of running. So Coach Edgar, when it comes to walking, I think you can guide them a bit better when it comes to that.
Pretty much the exact same, only the actual speeds you're moving at are slowed down. So 100% would be the top speed you can walk at without it turning into a jog. Whereas 50% is pretty much you walking towards the store. You're walking with purpose, but you're not in a hurry to get there. So it's a casual, maintain conversation with friends kind of speed.
Brilliant.
Also, my knee commented here. Her name is pronounced my knee, as in like literally your knee, my knee.
Oh, my
Thanks for that. Okay, so we have a couple minutes left. So I want us to go into what I call rapid fire. So I'm going to ask you a whole bunch of questions. You can have a turn to ask me a whole bunch. What's your favorite food?
Oh my goodness. What do I love? I just love a steak. Like, it's a steak.
Steak is good. Steak is good. Movies or music?
Music.
Favorite kind of music?
Indie. Is it indie?
Indie, really?
Leave me alone.
Why am I not shocked Sakkie likes indie music?
I shouldn't have put that out there. Can I take it back?
Besides running, favorite form of exercise?
Ooh, besides running. Listen, I love my yoga. A little known fact about me, I was a previous yoga and Pilates instructor. Do not judge me. I'm just saying, like, yes, I was. In all honesty, like, I was the type of person who you could have never convinced to do my stretching. And then, as I grew in this industry, like, I started realizing the importance, of doing your stretches, because myself as an athlete, I was very lazy when it comes to that. I'll admit it in front of everybody. But over the years, I got to learn like how beneficial the stretching is for you. And then, somehow I found myself being interested in yoga and Pilates, and that's how I got into it.
Tell me, just to touch on that, because it's very interesting. Like, how does someone as motivated to exercise as you be lazy to do a form of exercise? Like, aren't you like this superior, motivated, all fitness consuming person?
Whoa, okay, boom, I'm gonna shatter people's minds. No, I'm actually human. I feel like all the coaches are the same, It is a struggle sometimes for us to get motivation, to be motivated. But it's just like with everything. How bad do I want it? That's the thing that I keep saying to myself. Like, how bad do I really want this? So that's what keeps me motivated. Why am I doing this? In the guided runs, anybody who's done the guided runs will always tell you that in most of my guided runs, I ask you, what's the purpose of the run today? Why are you doing it? I feel like when you have your why, like, anything is possible. You'll be able to keep to it. You'll stay motivated because you know why you're doing it.
I'm stealing that, by the way. My next guided walk is going to have that now. Thanks. Okay, we got a few minutes left. Anything you want to ask me?
Yes, Coach Edgar. If I get to ask you a couple of questions. Listen, the first thing that I want to know from you, what would you say in terms of your journey, your own personal like health and wellness journey? What is your biggest achievement?
Sure, that's a loaded question. Okay, now I know how you felt.
Aha, I've never asked you this.
Sure. Damn, okay. I would have to say the one I'm most proud of, I shared a little bit of this on last week. Like, I was quite an obese kid. Like, I topped the scales like 147 kilos when I was like 13. So I was like not athletic, couldn't run 10 meters without being like majorly out of breath. Don't have the best genetic joints in the world either. So at some point it clicked in my head, and it's sort of how I live my life. It's like, okay, if I'm on the extreme end of one thing and I suck at it, but it's something I want to get better on, I'm going to work on getting to the extreme end of the other scale. So being able to go from that non-athletic obese kid to like, I'm one of the top athletes in the country in my sport. So being able to do that transition, and it took 15, 16 years to get there. But like being able to do that transition, I think is the thing I'm most proud of.
Listen, that's an amazing journey. Like, I am seriously stoked about it. I don't know if people know about it, but when we had the chat about it, I really loved everything that you told me about your journey when it comes to that. And then one question that I want to ask as well, what hidden talent do you have? Something that people don't know about you.
Yo, now you're gonna discover how boring I am in my own head. What hidden talent do I have? I wouldn't call it a talent per se, but in high school, I used to be part of a rap group. So I'm known to spit one or two bars every now and again. I think I'm rubbish. Other people think I'm decent. So yeah.
You do know I'm going to ask you to just give us a line or two right now.
And we are out of time. Thank you to everyone for joining us.
No faith.
Next time. But thanks, everyone. Thank you, Sakkie, for joining us today. I'm sure everyone appreciated it. I'm sure everyone loved getting to know you a little bit better. And will we be seeing you in the show sometime soon again?
Please, I would love to come back again. I really appreciate you hosting me. And thank you to everybody who came to support.
Thanks, everyone. We will see you. Kathleen will be taking next week's one. So tune in next Wednesday with Kathleen. And we will announce who our host guest will be on Friday on Jeff Together. So be on the lookout for that. Get your questions ready.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.